Hi, this is Pepe. You've seen him before. He came to me from Deb Rayner by Cal Tonkinese quite a long time ago. And he is a cat that could never be touched. He doesn't like to be handled. Well, actually, no one's ever handled him. We've never been able to. Sorry about that. Pepe has sired quite a number of kittens. But the problem is that they've all inherited his tendency to be a little bit nuts. You can't touch them. They run away. They sometimes sleep near you. Pepe likes to sleep on the bed as long as there's a pile of other cats and he feels safe. But otherwise, you'll sometimes find him sitting on the cat post like this, or on a chair. He likes to be on the chair with the other Tonks, and he's very friendly with other cats. He just simply cannot be touched. When I put the food down, if he happens to be underneath the shelf where I put the tray of food, he'll reach out and smack me one if I get too close. So I really try to give him his space. That's about all we can do with Pepe. Just give him his space. That's not such a terrible thing. He's lovely to look at. He's lovely to watch. He's always very sweet looking. He just doesn't want to be touched. He does play. In fact, if I get a teaser and wave it under his nose, he'll play with it. And if the other cats are playing, he'll join in. Once in a while, he'll even play on his own. And then he leaps into the air, and he does little circles, and he races up and down the hall, and he does all the things that a Tonkinese is supposed to do, except be loved. We love him from a distance. I don't know if he returns the feelings or not. Apparently, he just feels safest when he's not being touched or nobody's too close to touch him. So we let him do his own thing. The only problem is that we can't clip his nails. So he has very long nails, which he manages to not cut, of course, but he manages to keep them in control. Let's put it that way. Not that they're not sharp, because they are. But he doesn't try to scratch anybody else. He uses the scratching post, and he sheds the outer part of his nail the way he's supposed to. That helps keep them sharp, but at the same time it helps them from growing back into his skin, which is very dangerous. I won't take him to the vet to have his nails done because it's too traumatic for him. He just wants to be left to his own resources, and that's what we do. Pepe, look at the camera. Pepe, you're not really seeing his real color here. He's actually a champagne mink, and he has lovely beige coloring. It's a warm beige, and his points are very deep chocolate. In the picture, they look black, but they're not. They're actually just a very deep chocolate. He's a very pretty cat. He's thrown lovely kittens, and as I said before, the only problem is that one kitten in each litter, for several generations, unfortunately, comes up nuts. We have no idea what's caused this aberration. There's nothing in his background that we know of that's caused it. It's not a neurological problem. It's a mental problem, which has, as I said, been thrown in all of his litters. One kitten in every litter. The rest of the kittens are fine. There's no accounting for it. But we don't have to, because Pepe is neutered now. I had him neutered a couple of years ago. And by the way, when he first came here, he was so terrified and so agitated that I had to keep him in one of my great big 8-foot cages for about a year. And I still couldn't touch him in the cage. He would go berserk. So after about a year, I let him out of the cage. Actually, what I did was I left the door of the cage open, and some of the other cats went into the cage. They would jump into his cage and sniff at him, and he would sniff back. And eventually they became friendly. And I felt secure enough in their not fighting to let him go in and out of the cage as he pleased. But for the next year, he lived underneath my bureau or in my closet, which I had to leave open for him, partway, to go in and out and to get at his food and his litter pan, which I kept right outside the closet door and close to where he used to hole up underneath the dresser right next to the closet. So eventually he started to move around the house. At first he would slink very, very close to the furniture and nowhere near me. If he saw me, he would run back into his hiding place. Eventually, though, he learned to make a big circle around wherever I happened to be. And I was very careful not to look at him directly. That way, he felt comfortable. To this day, he'll make a circle around me or anyone else who happens to be in the house. He won't get closer than about 3 feet. And he does, as I said, sleep on my bed, even when I'm in it. So that's Pepes' story. And he's a lovely boy, and I wish I could find a home for him where someone would just appreciate him for who he is. If you're that person, please let me know. Take care now. Please subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Pepe! Peps! Pepsi! Hey, Pepe! That's a boy. That's a good Pepe.